Divine Entanglement, and for joining us in all of our divine offerings, whether it be our weekly Ascension Global radio shows, our monthly Sacred Temple teachings, our prayer groups, or our gathering in sacred community and sacred soul tribe gatherings. Our love and our light is with you always, and may you enjoy with great exaltation and honor in the path that you walk, in your unfolding in every day, that we create harmony and unity in our diversity and in our oneness. May we co-create for eons to come in this now concurrent moment, and we thank you so much for joining us. For more of our offerings and for more of our co-creations together, please tune into our website, http://ulwhc.com. Welcome, and we are so excited and we are so happy and we are so delighted to dance with you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Week after week, we gather in a sacred way and we allow all that we are as divine, cosmic, universal, galactic human beings coming forward within all of our unique light, within our individuality, within our diversity. We gather in this beautiful and sacred way so that all that we are as a human heart, as a human collective, as a one human family, radiate through creation our readiness and our joy and our excitement for the treasures that behold all that we unfold within. For there are an infinite and a myriad, diverse, dynamic, eternal treasures held within all that we are. And in every moment that we gather, our light grows. In all moments that we gather, the joy and the happiness for being human grows. For we are now on the very edge of a new creative story that humanity is now showing and telling and expressing and sharing. And isn't that lovely? There may be diverse change in our world. There may be things coming forward in our world to shake out and even out and smooth out what is now no longer serving the greater good of all. And that's meant to be, and we bless it, and we honor it, and we gather the lessons and the wisdoms within it all. For we have created it. In any lifetime we have created the limitation. We are here now to stand within our unity, here now to stand within the vibration of love and joy, to transcend and see beyond through our radiation of light, through our radiation of joy, treasures held within it all. And so we thank you, dear lighted ones, gathering from near and far, all corners of the earth, for you are the children of God, you are the children of light, walking forward now as we create a new human story, as we co-create new light fields of Christed vibration. Make no mistake about that. And why the purity within your hearts to be here in this moment are felt throughout creation, rippling now through color and sound. And why, as you gather, you feel the vibrations between the words. For the heartfelt intentions is the breath of life. It's that quantum spirited story that we offer through vibrational intent, through our hearts. The treasures of God being offered to you through these intentions of love and joy. And why you, dear masters of light that have come gathered week after week in devotion and curiosity, or just to have your hearts soothed for a few hours every week. You are the ones that will awaken to the vibrations that are offered, the intentions, the soft and loving heavenly stories held between the words. For these are the Christed vibrations. It is a consciousness. It is multidimensional. It is alive. Filled with light. Filled with love. Filled with the encodings of God. And it can be felt in every way. For you are a dynamic being of perception. You are awakening to skills and gifts far wider, far grander than you may know. And you can feel the vibration of love. And these dear ones, and we take great pause is a part of our second hour topic that we will thread within our first hour topic. For as you sense the vibrations of the Christed consciousness, the vibrations of God being offered, it is what each and every one of you will awaken to. For it can be felt, the stirring of the atom-evantine particles throughout your vessel, your multidimensional bodies, the awakening of the God seed within, the preparing of the light body, the feeling of the vibratory words and the vibrations as you come to life, is the awakening of the light body. The loving, spirited intention which has been written about in the most ancient of text. It is the Spirit of God, a quantum feeling, a quantum experience, a multidimensional experience, and it is felt in every way. And why the vibrations week after week change and shift, dear lighted ones? For you are the ones that will go forward and feel it first and teach it first and experience and express it first and radiate it first. And our children feel it intuitively already. They feel the intentions within the words. They feel the intentions within the actions. They see the intentions unfold within our world, dear lighted ones, and why it isn't so important. In the ways that we gather, and we take great heed, and we notice, and we become aware of, and we awaken to all that we are, all that we exist within, and all that exists within us. For as we do, we set the vibrational light field for the children to come forth in greater integrity, living their greater truth, living as the treasure that we are as God's children. And all the mismatched energies of what is said and what is actually done is smoothed and ironed out. For when you live within the heart space, when you live within the treasure of your own heart, there is always honesty and integrity, pure alignment with God. And your words are truthful, and your actions are truthful. And you live with a quicken in your step because it's the Spirit of God showing you synchronicity, creating it within, showing it without. All that you are within, all that you are without. And the treasures of the heart awaken. It is the resurrection of joy that each and every one of us experience as we live within the treasures of our hearts. And how it radiates to the world. And how those stories are told and shown to the children. And being gifted as experiences for the children. For we live by example, do we not? And our divine and magnetic, profound topic for today as we spiral within the numbers 1 and 8. Dear lighted ones, power and profundity. Our heavenly topic that we brought forward in our introduction. Thank you so much for gathering in the way that we do and understand how important and how valuable and how valued you are in this gathering. For creation is forever changed in this gathering of the hearts, so sacred and true. For your light quotient as you gather in a group, although you may not know one another, but we see you from all corners. The one human heart calls, and you resonate such grand peace and excitement for the potential of the human race. You sit in a softening, you sit in a gentle excitement for your families of the future. for your children now growing and seeing the world from their own unique perspective. And as you reach for wisdom, and as you reach for intelligence within, the treasures of your heart come to life. And you will resurrect joy in every way. And the children will see it. The children will feel it. The children will intuit it. And the portal of God opens for them. For they are seeing and sensing and feeling far more than words can say. And why we're stepping through threshold after threshold of a higher truth. For that is truly what is enlightenment, is it not? When you awaken moment for moment for moment into a higher truth of you. Behaviors that used to be okay are no longer okay. Words that used to be so common leaving your lips are no longer okay. Moving quite unknowingly about the earth as your skin and bones entangle and feed with Gaia are now aware of their co-creative potential, profundity. Excitement awakens. And into a higher truth, you walk yourself, manifesting experiences, manifesting people and meetings and gatherings so that you may arise once again and resurrect a new joy. For your heart has showed you the treasures held within it. The treasures of being truthful to you and what you find exciting. The treasures of a loving and soft heart and how it magnetizes all things in kind. The treasures of living simply and authentically. Allowing the soul to come to life through your creative expression, through your creative excitements. For these are the vibrations of the Christ living in you right now. And these are the treasures held within your heart. And why this required, again, the profundity of the introduction that it did. For it is an awakening that I have had this week, and it's quite profound. And I still do not have the words to explain some of the experience that I am experiencing. And my teams are telling me right now that it doesn't matter if I find the words. It will come, but the vibrations are held within the stories of our gathering. And those of us that have been together many, many lifetimes are receiving the quantum threadings of these awakenings without the words being spoken. For that's why you are just urged and nudged by your higher self to meet and gather when you do. For there's far more going on than the eyes can see, but that the heart knows, and why you are here now. The awakening this week, dear lighted ones, treasures of the heart, a resurrection of joy. And treasures of the heart, dear lighted ones, is it has been over the last 6 months, quite a softening. Truly, truly a softening. And the more masterful one becomes within oneself, the more masterful one becomes within this multidimensional dynamic experience of human, earthly, cosmic transformation. For we are transforming because our planet is. We are transforming because our collective consciousness is requesting higher vibrations from creation so that we may evolve anew. The planet is affixing into a new cosmic space. Poles are being adjusted. grids, magnetic frequencies that affect the multidimensional electromagnetic bodies. All that we are as a multidimensional being, physical, mental, emotional, etheric, meeting and merging with the higher soul self, the all-soul self, calling forward the soul aspects, calling forward the soul light to assist us in our masterful focus of this now moment. And our hearts open, our hearts soften. Because we understand that through mastery, softening is required. It just comes as a natural progression. Mastery is softening, but it's quite so powerful and profound. And that is the dynamic balance of the heavenly male and the heavenly female, the Mother, Father, God within. It's truly a powerful softening. The treasure that's held within the heart is that balance of male and female. And as that is learned, and as the Akashic traumas and hardening is released through every way that your multidimensional bodies will release. For remember, as you are transforming, as you are transcending, as you are preparing the light bodies, all that you are as a multidimensional being is releasing in some way, transforming in some way, creating greater illumination and space, if you will, so that the cells, the biochemistry of all that you are, oscillates at a higher frequency, a higher speed, if you will. For those are the mechanics. And we really, truly desire to soak within the sauce of it all, the taste of it all, and that is the heart. Through the heart there is a portal to all things, all experiences. And it is the treasures held within the heart. It is your awakening through the softening of love. For love softens all blocks, all walls that one has created, all illusions that one has created to keep one separate in thought, in mind, or in deed. And love will soften you so. For mastery allows you to understand that there is nothing to fear. We are one. And my heart is open and I can love it whole. And as I do, every shadow, every fear, every limitation, every thought or word of separation, every judgment held, is transformed and transmuted by the treasures of the heart. For love transforms all things and softens you so supple and so true that it will be the natural evolution of your softening, that you will speak softer words, that you will feel the vibrations within the words. And these are the Christed frequencies being activated from within the center of your being, your soul matrix. Those templates that are constantly being loved, constantly being transformed and transmuted by your masterful intentions, by your masterful sacred breath, by your sacred honor of thyself. And you live all moments in sacred treasure of you. For you understand there are treasures held within the emotional body. You understand there are treasures held within the mental body. You understand the treasures held within your etheric body and your physical body. And all that you are is a multidimensional being of light, pulsating, receiving, and sending information in all moments. But it is through the heart that one aligns all that you are. It is through the heart that all synchronicities in this co-creation, in this quantum entanglement and dance are felt. For it's within the soft and loving intention now, dear lighted ones, as we create sacred breath in our harmonization with Gaia, our harmonization with God, our harmonization with the omnipresence heart-mind of the all. And as the pillar of light is opened and we softly intend the nourishment of sacred encodations within breath, to feed and nourish the chakras, to ignite and activate the chakras, to feed the organs and the blood and all that we are with sacred breath, with the sacred loving intention that we hold for ourselves. And with these soft and loving intentions through breath, we harmonize all that we are as a multidimensional being to come together in this harmonized moment of one, to reveal treasures held within. And as we reach in harmonization of our higher self, up through the inhale to our omnipresence and source creator, all that is, in the benevolence of light and the benevolence of co-creation, of our Christedness, we ground and anchor through the sands and soils of Gaia, through all the crystalline grids, the electromagnetic grids, to her crystalline heartbeat, and this one human family in this one sacred gathering, listening now and future now moments. May we drop to our divine sacred hearts and softly open the portal of all that is, to come forward and reveal the treasures of each individual, unique heart space. And within the center of our being, we softly and lovingly create stillness and silence, just to dance with God for a moment. And as our bodies are beating beneath our hand, and our skin, and our bones, the treasures of the heart are being quantumly threaded with the vibration of our openness and our softness and our joy and our excitement to commune. And many of you are feeling the chakras in the third eye, in your galactic third eye, and the multidimensional bodies vibrate beneath your skin. And you softly intend your multidimensional bodies to harmonize with you in this moment of unity and peace, being fed with sacred breath. And as we entangle within this sacred family, the treasures held within this sacred family, our hearts are vibrating dynamic wishes and light vibrations for one human peace, for healthy food that is available to all, for systems of dynamic, creative innovations that will serve the all, so the all may benefit, for blessed water that creates wealth and health and vitality for the multidimensional bodies. Wealthy in radiance, wealthy in your color, wealthy in your graciousness of you. For your sacred breath ignites these treasures. Your sacred activation is your intention to open within, feeling sacred, knowing yourself as sacred, feeling yourself as sacred. Living sacredly is knowing yourself as being sacred. Entangling with all things, with all beings, with all life as sacred. And as this soft and loving intention ripples prayers and light-filled wishes for harmony and peace to our collective, to our co-creative families, to Gaia, to wildlife, to all nature, these light radiations will show, will experience, will allow for divine creational ripples in kind to you, so that you may be awakened more deeply within the treasures of you, and how you are able to open and soften within your heart with God. And all treasures will come forward divinely and uniquely designed for you, through you. For each and every one of you, in this exercise of unity and harmony and light-filled wishes for all life, for all creation, for all future potentiation of humanity, of Gaia, of our entanglement with our cosmic families. Each and every one of you felt and experienced something different. And here is the rainbow light held within this experience, dear lighted ones. The uniqueness, the diversity, the hue, the color, the resonance, the harmonic, the joy, the treasure that each of you are in how you experience, in what you experience, in your offerings, in your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. Are the treasures held within God's heart. So unique, so precious, so very required. And why you will each be engaged in a unique way. One will be engaged to sing, one will be engaged to dance, one will be engaged to create art. For when you create that allowance for those treasures to come forth and God to live through you, and you give yourself permission to live authentically, dear lighted ones, what's holding you back? Those treasures come forward tenfold, 100-fold, that will vibrationally match your inner joy to experience you. For you are the treasure. You are all things being experienced in that moment. That meditative blessing and offering to all of creation as you took every breath, as you thought of your own loving intentions, as you visualized the breath feeding you and nourishing you. You are held within all moments of that experience. Does this make sense, dear lighted ones? You may have received a vision from the higher self, from the councils of light, from the Pleiadians. You may have received goosebumples on your arm, or a beautiful breath on the back of your neck. You may have received a beautiful vision or a feather dropping from the sky. And for each of you, your experience of the treasure was unique, for you are. Your inhale is as unique. And as you harmonize and ground, the sands and soils of Gaia are as unique and treasured and held with her. In all that you swim within, in all that you softly intend and softly awaken to and softly radiate and softly love, softly forgive. In all moments that you softly intend yourself anew, treasures unfold, treasures behold, synchronicities befall. The treasure of the divine sacred heart, dear lighted ones, is that soft and loving entanglement, that dance, that quantum permission slip that you give yourself in every moment as you allow and live with God in all moments. And it's a softening and it's an awakening. And it shifts and changes everything you are, everything you do, everything you say. Your perspectives change. How you perceive your reality change. For you've softened. The words that others say, others' behaviors, a reflection of what is going on within, some way, somehow. Whether it be to push or pull you onto a path, whether it be to show you an awakening or a blessing or a lesson. As within, so without. And as you soften within the God of all that you are, you unveil the treasure of God of all that you are. You see the treasure of all that you are as a multidimensional being of light. The treasure is held within your bodies. And why your bodies act and behave in the way that they do and show you when there are imbalances. And as the lessons come forth to show you these blessings, to gift you the courage of your mastery, to go back within and soften, your perspective change. The harsh words of others no longer affect you in the way that they used to. You immediately soften and offer light and compassion in their words, in their actions, or in their behaviors. The troubles of the world no longer cause you deep sorrow, but you stand and radiate your light, for you understand the power in this. You understand the power when you hold space for others in this. And how you become, through the treasures of the heart, a champion of your own light. For you're honoring all that you are in this. The dynamic work with God that it has taken to release and forgive yourself over and over and over and over again in the ways that you've held harsh judgments on yourself or others. And every time God takes you in, because you are ever so the treasure of God's heart. Soft and joyful and loving you, God is. So why are we not soft and joyful and loving ourselves? Are these not the greatest lessons, dear lighted ones, and we say with great pause, that we can radiate to our children, that we can emulate for our children, that we can walk so softly in our softened hearts and skin and bones upon Gaia's soft soil, and have this inner knowing of sacredness, this inner knowing of sacred honoring as joy is resurrected throughout the all in the softening. And one may say, will I not be seen as too soft? Will people not take advantage of me if I am soft? I must put up those walls. I must put up those barriers. And we say, dear lighted ones, For within the soft and loving heart, the all is transformed. And God to eternity will always, has always, softened in loving you, in birthing you over and over and over again, in this now moment, in this now concurrent reality of multidimensional creations, joyfully dancing with you as I am often shown the most beautiful expressions of God that I have. Soften my heart so. And every anxiety and every fear and every limitation, every cell within my body, every muscle, every organ, softens in love as I see God dancing with me, as we co-create light and beauty and love in all form. For it's the illusion of separation. It's the illusion that we've held within ourselves, separate from God, separate from love, separate from beauty, separate from the treasures of all things. That we felt we had to place these walls and barricades between us and whatever it was on the other side. It's us, dear ones, it's us. Not only are you on the other side, dear lighted ones, but you are every particle of matter within the bricks and within whatever it is that wall is for you. Do you see what we're saying here? Create whatever analogy you so desire. You are within it all. So why not just soften and see the treasures held within all that you are? Your dynamic heart, so powerful and so true. We are awakening and remembering and claiming, and we are now acknowledging the treasures of all that we are and what is held within the heart. For it is all that is within the heart. The portal to all experiences, the portal of all transformations and transcensions found within the heart. And why we have always referred within. Who am I, and what do I exist within, and what exists within me, and how may I soften within it all? How may I no longer be bothered by the words and the judgments of others? For they are the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions and the fears and the separations and the experiences that are now coming to be healed, to be softened by you. And it is through the softening that you experience an utter resurrection of you as joy. For you will see and you will experience in every way there is nothing to fear. For as you stand within your light, the profundity of your light, and that softening is the divine Mother Queen in all of her glory and all of her eminence radiating through you as you feel the eminence and the radiance of Queen Gaia. There is such soft power. For there is no need to stomp about, for love transforms all things. And the divine and heavenly male and father within us, the intelligence and the wisdom and the purity of our will merging and harmonizing together as the male-female. And we soften through love. And moment for moment for moment, we are harmonizing. Through our expansiveness, we reach out, we experience, we ignite, we call it in, we love. We soften, create wholeness and unity and harmony and balance. We reach out, awaken, seek, gather information, create behaviors, new perspectives. We call in love. Cycles of release, and letting go of what no longer serves. Cycles of release, forgiveness, and love. So potent in its transformational ability. And joy is resurrected. These are the transformations, dear lighted ones, of our human collective. For all things will be transformed in our socioeconomic platform. All things. Schools, banking, systems, whatever systems we have created will be transformed. Through our consciousness, all will be transformed. The clarion call from the collective heart to live in peace and harmony and joy and blessings. To feel as if one is treasured, to live a treasured life. Sacredly co-creating with all aspects of life. Awakening to cosmic and galactic life. And co-creating sacredly there. All is ignited through the heart. Our consciousness is ignited through the heart. Awakening after awakening through the heart. Who am I in this moment of now? And may I go within and I seek my harmonization with God. I softly open with this dance. And the blessing held within it. May there be joy, resurrecting as I arise. I get it now, I get it now. This is why I'm seeing this. This is why I'm experiencing this. This is why I'm calling in this experience, aren't I? I get it, I get it. Wow. You're quite a master, aren't you, Joanna? Quite a master indeed. And let's soften into this. Wow, if you're able to show yourself these things, dear Master of Light, may I show you the love for creating it. May I show you the colorful joys that you've illuminated throughout creation when you recognize your mastery, when you recognize the lessons within all blessings, when you sit within a few moments of silence, just in honor of who you are. Can you soften within the light that's created in this? For these are the treasures of your heart. And the divine and holy Mother Father coming through in this moment of now, dear lighted ones. In all moments that you soften and you align in love, you're always aligning with your truth of who you are. The moment that you were born and breathed, the purest intention of love. Make no mistake about that. Before any thoughts or behaviors or belief patterns or societal imprints or any other energetic or physical experience affecting you, you are pure love. And as you walk about your journey of co-creation, regardless of what dimension, you are a master in co-creating your reality. Now that you are awakened to this, now that you understand that all that you are within creates your without, all that you are within, now garnering the soul vibration from the heavens, now garnering the soul vibrations of all that you are as light, now garnering the vibrations of the treasures held within. You now create with soft and loving intention to be the sacred gift that you always have been, that you always are. And why your words will be ignited through the Christed vibration in this way, as you do. As you soften, you will ignite Christed love, and it will be felt. You will begin speaking vibrational words that match your heart resonance, the treasure of you. That sacred treasure of you changes all things. Are you feeling? Are you sensing? Are you intuiting? Are you softening into the treasure of who you are, dear lighted ones? And as you open your heart, your divine sacred heart, the balance of Mother, Father within you, this diamond frequency of light within you, and you place one hand upon your heart in the purity of all that you are in this moment of now as your feet are grounded within the crystalline sands of Gaia. And you place one hand up to the heavens as we send a blessing and a light-filled clarion call to creation for beautiful Gaia's heartbeat, for the human family of light, for the human family of co-creation. And your divine and sacred breath ignites something new. And you merge and harmonize with your higher self and the omnipresence of all that you are as intelligence and love and joy and divine free will. And you soften within your divine sacred heart all things possible, all things love, all things profound. And you surrender in this moment to feel the grace of an open heart, to feel the ease and the joy of an open heart, to feel the power and the profundity of an open heart. For you are within all things that you face and all things that you create, awaiting your love, awaiting your softening, awaiting a new blessed truth of you. In these moments of pure radiation, you can feel the vibrations from your hands, quantumly leaving the sphere of all that you are as a multidimensional being, radiating a new truth to creation. For it may not be a knowing experience yet, but your soft and loving intention, just to seek it, just to feel it or intuit it, will send loving vibrations to your now future, so that next week or tomorrow or an hour from now, you will see vibrations returned in kind. And how powerful a soft and loving and open heart is. For all transformations begin here, through here, and why it's so very treasured. And why these experiences of mastery, and why these experiences of wisdom and love and sacredness have been taught in our most ancient of texts. And they've been transformed over time, and they've been changed and challenged over time. But the simple truth, dear lighted ones, always has been, always will be, you are threaded with God within. And how may you soften into this treasure? Truly soften. For that's all God is, soft love, joy of creation. And in this softness there is profound power to create. And I will share a story with you later this week through my writing because it really must be written out. And I'm going to show and share through my writing the experience that I had through my awakening and the softening and the treasures that are held within the heart, and how our heart, the divine sacred heart of all that we are, that merging and that balancing of divine and female intelligence and will, and the divine love and nourishment and the power of the soft heart, is truly the portal and the tool through which we create. And that's why honoring and loving our multidimensional bodies and understanding that each of our multidimensional bodies and the tools that we have through our multidimensional bodies, our creativity, our focused higher thought, our affirmations, our visualizations, our use of words, our use of intentions with our words, and all that we move as a multidimensional being, these will be encompassed in our higher and expansive multidimensional language that we are opening up into, and why it's so very important that we get these key lessons, that we truly get and begin to play with, to feel activated within these universal truths. Because these truths are held within the Christed frequency. We are and always have been multidimensional beings. As we awaken it, the particles of light within us, the God within us, awakens and stirs and moves in different ways. As we behave, as we perceive anew, as we treasure and honor ourselves anew, we resurrect new joys all through our divine sacred hearts. But understanding that our mental body, our emotional body, our etheric body, our physical body, they all play a role. The chakras, the system of energy within us, play a role. The pillar of light plays a role. The prana tube, the God breath, play a role in all that we are as multidimensional beings. Softening within our divine sacred heart and living through soft and loving intention allows you to feel and harmonize all of these aspects and really truly experience the treasure of you. And this is truly what is in my awakening. I'm really feeling myself as a treasure. They're showing me, and I'm showing myself. It's more me. I'm correcting myself because I'm owning my power in this. I'm showing myself how truly vast and how truly expansive I am. And I've never felt this before. I've communicated and I've expressed things from the 12th dimension and from higher expensive frequencies as outside of me, even in the words I've used. But the last couple of weeks, I've experienced it from within. And this is my soul self awakening. And so too will it be yours if you so desire. Free will, of course. But these are the sacred treasures held within the heart. And it's activated, experienced, and lived through in this way, your heart. Join us after the break, dear lighted ones. We go farther, deeper, and wider within the profound topics of living through your heart and multidimensional parenting in this way. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And this is Joanna, divine and heavenly universal love light wisdom offerings. Thank you so much for tuning in and gathering with us week after week. And truly know, from my heart to yours, from the etheric chambers and all of the consciousness that gather throughout the cosmos, throughout the multiverse, because this is what I've been sensing the last 2 weeks, is that the consciousness that are tuning in are not only from our galaxy. It's a much greater universal omni-present frequency, and it's because I'm allowing myself to open up to such frequencies. But that's it's the story where we're at right now as a planet. We're opening many things that expand far into things that we don't even understand or can comprehend or explain. So know that in our gathering, our light is known. In our gathering, it is felt and rippled through the all. And we've been talking and gathering today and musing so softly and lovingly about the treasures of the heart and how it really is a resurrection of joy, of all that we are, always have been. And so the understanding that we can hold this soft and loving intention and just give it a try and see how your reality shifts. Hold the loving intention before your feet hit the floor every morning. In this moment of now, I softly and lovingly intend to be the treasure of all that I am, to really feel myself as sacred, to create sacred words, to create sacred communion and communication with those that I'm entangled with. In this moment of now, I am threading myself in a quantum way with creation that I have no way of understanding at this point, but I'm open and I'm ready and my heart is soft and true. And my multidimensional bodies are feeding me information and I'm receiving and sending in such a way that I'm allowing myself to hone, to tune, to align with a higher version and intelligence of me that's so ready to create. Hold the soft and loving intentions for your profundity to hone your skills. Set the soft and loving intentions to have a beautiful open heart throughout the day and to soften in all ways through which previous you would have hardened, previous you would have judged, previous you would have created harsh words. Hold the soft and loving intention to flow within a divine open heart with you and God. I intend in this moment of now to live with God as I speak. I intend to hold this soft and loving communication with all that I am as I speak. For I am the light of God and God is me. I am the Word of God and God is me. I open to the treasure of all that I am, for I so desire to co-create in this highest version of me. It feels so good. I am resurrecting myself anew in this moment. I'm awake to miracles. I align with miracles. I align with my highest truth. And you will begin to feel the threading of the soul self of you. Remember those divine mass consciousness soul mapping of you. The all that you are is a soul being of light, breathed by God through every dimension. Those soul threadings will ignite to you stories quantumly deposited in your field. Synchronicities or books perhaps, or words or songs that come into your attention. Nature, images, wildlife, insects. The soul self of you, the soft and loving call from God, awakening you in any way that it can, for it's you. Knowing exactly what vibrations you require, knowing exactly what words and numbers you require, what sequencing you require to awaken and soften within. For these sacred treasures are all you. To live sacredly is loving you sacredly. To show others how to live sacredly, you offer the emulation of living sacredly, of walking lightly, because Gaia remembers you. She knows you. She's co-creating with you in all moments, that you softly open your heart and intend it so. And you choose the food, and you choose the water, and you choose the blessings through which you are nourished. For your multidimensional bodies are listening. Do you see what we're saying here, dear lighted ones? Softly intend as within, so without. Your temple within, your temple without. The temple of your home. Live sacredly within the temple of your home as you do your body. For God is, you are. And how this in and of itself is a resurrection of joy. Make no mistake about that. For it will be felt in your words that you offer. It will be felt in how you communicate to all things. For remember, all things are consciousness, all aspects. The trees feel you. The trees resonate and feel you as you walk by. You are a field of living light. And why our children, in this beautiful offering of our multidimensional parenting, and why we've been talking lately and recently about moving into and readying ourselves for higher intellect programs of experience, higher intellect programs of cosmic and universal galactic communications, and why our words will want to change, why we will want to shift into new vibrational words, new vibrational ways of behaving. Because we can feel the harmony within the home when we do. The words that we choose, because there is, and this will be an easy analogy for those. You have child or children standing before you, and although your heart in a state of mind is not balanced and they didn't ground and breathe, and so your heart is feeling anxious or frustrated or closed, and the words that you speak are coming from that vibrational frequency. The intentions that you're holding are in that vibration, and the child standing before you feels that vibration before the words are even said. So even though the words might be of a certain story, the vibrations and the intentions from your heart are quite another. And why it is so very key, as we've said in many shows previous, there is an infinity symbol that threads from the center of your being to the center of all beings that you coexist with. Trees, animals, pets, neighbors, friends, partners, lovers. And it's the intentions now as we awaken into our unity consciousness. It is the intentions and the heart space through which we softly intend, that will be felt first. And why oftentimes, dear lighted ones, and we take great breath in compassion and love and understanding, why so many are feeling what they feel, why many are feeling in flux and in confusion, because they haven't understood and never been taught the multidimensional bodies, and why they're awakening in such a way that they do, where they hear things or feel things or sense things in ways that they've never felt or sensed before. For these things are not taught in schools or in general family conversations. And why the children are feeling what they feel, for they feel the intentions, they feel the stories within the words. And why we have been offering those vibrational musings in our loving Christed discussions, because we are moving into higher intelligent programs of behaving, ways that we interact, ways that we co-create, ways that we offer, ways that we communicate are so very key to evolving who we are. And why we must pause and breathe and drop to a centered harmonic heart, peacefully and harmonically align within our open heart, and allow the loving story of God to live through us as the children before us watch and feel and sense and intuit all that we're co-creating with them. For these are key, so very key, to bringing back into balance our human collective at a vast level. So very quick and simple tips to drop to your heart, breathe, ground, and speak from a place that's loving truth, soft loving truth, authentic loving truth, creative loving truth, joyful loving truth, because the children can feel it. They feel the vibrational story first. And how may we create in this knowing? We understand that when a mother is upset, or when a mother is, especially with newborns, if the mother is not feeling well, the mother is upset, the child will immediately feel it, especially nowadays when they're born so intuitively awake and aware. Their quantum level of sensing is far higher and more sensitive than it has ever been. And it is that way for a reason, dear lighted ones. And this is where we're reaching into our universal, omnipresent, new galactic stories. For they are here to expand upon what we speak of now. There is a webbing of communication not yet discussed on your planet. There is a webbing of consciousness that many are now experiencing on your planet. There are communications and diverse life and experiences and profundity that these children will tap into to co-create and bring forward and anchor and create and innovate and ignite and swim and dance within. And it begins now. From your soft and loving heart, dear lighted ones, can you feel the celebration and the ceremony and how dearly treasured you are? As you soften within your heart and offer an intentional loving story of allowance before the words are spoken. A soft and loving and intentional story I honor you as God. I respect you as God. And I love you as God. How may we co-create in all our divinehood? May the vibrational stories be held so sacredly within your words. For these are the treasures and the joys that all of creation feels as it leaves your lips to be created by a song, as the pen touches the paper from the beautiful poetry or stories written, or as the keys of the piano and the sounds and the tones and the resonance. For it's the stories of your intentions. How soft and supple your heart is to co-create. How loved and excited you are as a co-creator. Your childlike excitement, your childlike musings, your childlike creativity. For the children will feel this verse, dear lighted ones, and it will shift the vibrations within your temple that you call home. How may you look into the eyes of all that encircle you and softly intend honor. I honor that which stands before me, for I understand I am you and you are me. We are one. I honor your path with God and I respect you in all ways. Unconditional as God is with you. And you will be there to hold that space, and you will be there to light those fields of creativity that will come forth. For they will feel those intentions and those stories of allowance. And the all is forever changed by your presence. How profound you are, dear lighted ones, so sacredly held as a treasure of God. Indeed you are. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And that was our beautiful musing with multidimensional parenting and understanding the beautiful movement. And some of you are tuning into the vibrational stories, the vibrational meanings in our gatherings. And many of you have been doing it for quite some time, but it's never been given a word or it's never been given understandings. And so now we're beginning to softly gift awareness to the soft and loving Christed intentions, those quantum vibrations that can be felt in a myriad of ways by your multidimensional bodies when we meet, when we gather. So celebrate. Celebrate your awareness to your multidimensional bodies showing you and gifting you with your God presence. As your cells speed up, as you feel your chakras within begin to spiral and spin, as you create that release in your everyday life as an experience, as you softly speak and stand in your authentic skin. Bless and celebrate all moments. For these are your God awakenings. And the treasures of your heart will be felt as you open and intend that in your words. As you offer and intend that, as you divinely entangle with the divine in the all, your godliness entangling with the godliness of the all. It will be felt. Those are quantum intentions. There's stories within that. The stories that are held within every week that we gather. And the space is created. And the etheric councils and the multiverse consciousness come forward, dear lighted ones. Surrounding us in this moment, you have no idea how many beings are with us. Groups and collectives, as far as the eyes could see, standing in attention and celebration of you now. For there are councils showing me the love vibrations and the light that they are offering in our communion in this way. For these are sacred gatherings. For it feels sacred, does it not? For you feel sacred, do you not? And as we offer our soft and loving intentions through our words and through our movement in our sacred temples and in our homes, our children begin to feel their sacredness. And we lift them to the vibration of the highest God child that they are, so that they can tell a vibrational story in their hearts. And the resurrection of joy is lived through them. For that's all every parent desires for their children. Live in joy for who you are, dear child. Live in joy. And the world will dance with you. Creation will sing with you as you do. Stand in honor of your power to create, dear lighted ones, for you are masters of love and light. And your heartfelt intentions, whether you're holding space, whether you are healing, whether you are teaching, whether you are a devoted mother, caring for your home and your children, your soft and loving and balanced intentions of sacred joy will be felt in every word that is spoken and not spoken. And we are living as masters, dear lighted ones. Thank you. So very blessed to be in these multidimensional frequencies of creation, and I truly must write these out because there's so much information and so many lessons and stories that are coming forward. And I oftentimes wish the electronic equipment would work as fast as the intuitive downloads that I get. So perhaps there will be an invention one day. And crystals are a great invention of that because the crystals hold so much information. So perhaps we'll think of ways that we can communicate with crystals telepathically, and everyone would just get the information as soon as it's downloaded, and which is done anyways. It really is. It's just whether we're able to and willing to open up to the information. But I will put some things in writing because there are those that create that visual connection from written wisdoms, and there are those that open their hearts and feel the wisdoms in the Christed vibrations that we offer, and there are those that really take part in the visualizations and the illustrations that we've created. So please feel free to log on to our website. Tina has the link up there. We have many, many, many free resources, and we also post these free resources on our Facebook page. Usually once a week we post a resource or an illustration. And there's so much that's for free on our website, so that you may explore the God within who you are, the God within all that is, and the God that exists within you. And all of these resources kind of connect with a vibrational image, an illustration, so that you may see how truly vast and grand you are, and the dynamic understanding of our multidimensional bodies, and how key it really, really is. Balancing the emotions and allowing them to flow with love and sacredness, and honoring them and owning them, acknowledging them, understanding when those moments happen of release and flux, and how to move through life in a balanced and honorable way and begin living sacredly. And these are all things, these are all simple moment-for-moment life experiences, make no mistake about this, that activate your Christed light body through the heart. Always through the heart. And we move now to our Gaia interaction. And for those that are listening in Future Now Moments, these images are held on our Facebook page, Universal Unity Joanna. And Tina has some images up there too. The first image that we will start with is a beautiful image of, this is our smoky sky this week that I took as the sun rose in the morning. And there's the sun peering from behind a set of trees on the Diamond Heart Sanctuary that we see. But because of the smoke from all the forest fires from a neighboring province, the smoke has kind of moved into our province, and sending love and blessings to all of those affected and to the land, and in those moments of global change and resituation. But this beautiful image of the sun rising up, and although the sky was just covered, it's been covered in smoke for a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks, it shifted and changed the color of the sun, and it was just so orange and so dynamically pink, orange and pink hues. In the very center was the whitest, white color you could imagine, that you would create those imaginings of spirit to behold in front of you, the whitest, purest white you could think of. And around it, circling the beautiful yellow, the golden yellow. And these colors coming together for me it's the beautiful entanglement of thyself as sacred, and how beautifully pure and rich and powerful and profound that is at the center of your beingness, which is also the numbers we're working with today is 10, yourself with God. So who you are at the center of all of your being, radiating out, and the various colors and the hues that you're blanketed within, that you radiate, that the stories you're here to tell are also colors. The themes that you're releasing and transcending are colors. For remember, all things are light vibration. You are a rainbow in light. And as you transform and transmute, as you create those higher perspectives of sacredness, of treasuredness, of resurrecting your own joy, all that you see, all that you perceive, all that is in your reality will shift and change along with it. The colors you perceive, how you perceive the colors. The illumination of the colors will change. The dynamicism of the colors will change, absolutely. And why there will be many people, as we've said many times before, awakening into new dynamics and uses of color. And there'll be new colors to co-create with. There'll be new colors to communicate and paint with. And so it's they're amazing images of Gaia that in every moment we're seeing new, because we're new, we're transforming, we're illuminating, we're radiating, we're transforming. The next image is a beautiful picture of a dragonfly. This golden dragonfly landed on, was fluttering around in front of me and then landed on the soil next to me about 2 feet away. And it just sat there looking at me as I was looking at it, musing and entangling with one another. And I've always loved dragonflies along with all of the Gaia's insects and our creational insects, and how they allow us a more attuned frequency into life, a vibrational frequency into life that is quite dynamic in how insects offer us heightened perspectives of sound, heightened perspectives of vibration. And these are many of the roles that the insects have come to portend, to open, to ignite, to inspire. And so as insects, there are so many of them, play within our everyday dance. Allow yourself to soften and open into the blessing and the sacredness and the treasure held within it. For within every insect, within every co-creation that you are creating for yourself and manifesting, there is a dynamic treasure awaiting you. You're creating it for yourself. You are igniting it for yourself. You are illuminating this moment for yourself for a reason. So this beautiful golden dragonfly on sacred soil, and it's sitting on a little stick, if you will, and it's sitting on a rock, and it's got its tail that's propped up against another little stick. And it's so elegant, and it's so graceful, and it's so dainty, and it's so profound. And it's gold, and it's shiny and new, and it's looking at me with its beautiful big eyes, allowing it to see me and me to see it in this beautiful, graceful moment of quite miniature experience going on, but quite profound in its essence, and its leaving, if you will. And as I was done looking at it, it was sitting there going, wow, you're just so beautiful, you're gold, you're so colorful, you're lustrous. And it flew off to dance and entangle anew. And these are these fleeting moments, if you will. And it could be anything. It could be a ladybug, it could be a fly, it could be whatever it is that comes into your experience. Allow yourself to soften and see it anew. For this is what mastery is. Mastery is not gained through the experiences or the understandings of others. It's gained through your own innate experience of your godliness. The moment that you softly awaken and intend, I intend in this moment to awaken into whatever may unfold. For it's my godliness, it's my treasure, it's my birthright. I walk with God. And all those aspects of life that cross your path are your magical co-creations. It's your resurrection of joy. Showing it to yourself. Look at how masterful you are. Here's a golden dragonfly, here to dance with you for a moment. How may you co-create? How may you enjoy? How may you soften? And these are moments truly that radiate through creation into those moments that we offered earlier. There are galactic and universal and omnipresent templates that are beyond what we can explain. But it's when each and every one of us uniquely drop within our soft hearts and desire to quantumly create with God, to dance with God, to play with God, in all ways that it's offered. These are the catalytic moments of co-creation, of evolution. And this is a divine treasure. And we say with great honor and reverence, thank you, God. And wow. And those are beautiful co-creations with nature that we explore. And on the property, I've noticed lately, we've had some trees. There's been some shifting in the land, and we've had some trees come down. And there's an image of one of the trees in the forest that's kind of leaned over and leaning against another tree. There's trees that have been falling down and leaning over, and some have been diseased or eaten from the inside from various bugs or insects, and there's different things going on with different trees. The land itself, just as each and every one of us are being shifted and transformed in every way. And it's different for each and every one of us. But in this vast forest, and I was perplexed, and I'm communing and entangling with the trees. And my heart felt momentarily sad for this one tree that had fallen and lifted its roots from the soil. And I thought, well, why didn't I see this before? And this tree has just recently fallen, perhaps. And there was other trees and other things that I had saw that had fallen onto the floor of the earth. But it was what I was going through emotionally in my own perspective and release. And then I went upon our yard, and there's another image there of brand new growth that happened very recently, that my son and I planted some apple seeds. And these apple seeds sprouted up very, very quickly. And whatever it was that we planted there it was within 2 weeks. Boom, there's life. But there's other examples all over the property, all over the sacred land of new life cropping up. And Gaia, as I was sitting outside in my soft reflection yesterday, and I sat just musing with Gaia, and I was softened in Gaia's communication with me that there is always meant to be change and transformation within the floors and the forests. So worry not, dear. Worry not. For there's new life abundant. And as I softly looked around the yard, I saw these new sprouts and new trees everywhere. It was the vibration that I was in the moment to feel sad and at odds. What do I do with this tree that's now fallen? And there's other trees that I've seen that have fallen. And I was reminded that the trees understand their place. The trees understand what they're doing. They understand their life cycle. Fear not, dear one. Hold the resonance of love and joy and play with us. For that's far healing and far valuable in the vibration of all that is it not? Immediately my perspective was shifted by the elegance and the intelligence of Gaia, feeding with me, threading with me in these moments of sacred living, and why we bring them forward week after week. And we don't have to show the pictures or the images, for you can visualize them yourself, for you all have yards to play in. You all have parks and forests. You all have oceans and streams and rivers. For these are the quantum dynamic opportunities that are offered to each and every one of us to play. to live as the treasures of God that we are, to resurrect joy in only the ways that we can from the heart within. And the life upon the forest will be the life upon the forest. Hold your space and be joyful. For there will be new life resurrecting. In the life that you are resurrecting, will it not? And I quite quickly admitted, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Thank you for that reminder, oh gracious Gaia. Thank you, thank you. I understand, I understand. And why we have the cycles that we do. And why we experience the cycles in the way that we do. For there is divine orchestration. So be in joy. And be grateful and appreciative and dance in this now moment. For it is this moment of now that we create. So thank you. And this lovely image next is a picture of our wild, a small wild flower garden that we have in our yard. And it reminded me of the diversity that we are as individuals, the diversity of love that we are in all of our colors. You'll see there are flowers, if you can visualize, on the floor of Gaia in the rich soil. And there's smaller, colorful shrubs. There's taller sunflowers that I could not get into the picture. There's, lush greenery shrubs. There's lavender. There's all sorts of flowers of all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all textures. Heights. You can, however words we want to define it and describe it. It's the diversity. It's the treasure of the garden, as you are. The treasure and the abundance of the garden, as you are. For as you seek with the softness within, and you offer yourself the soft way of living, you offer yourself a sacred way of living softly. For the vibration in these words will be felt. They just will. And as you do, you offer to yourself abundance of all that is God. And that is joy. Abundantly joy. Abundantly profound in knowing, in wisdom, in intellect, in divinity, in expansiveness, in allness, in earthliness, whatever it is that we choose to create in our vibrational words of now. You are held so treasured within it. And that's why the softening of the heart is so very key, to perceive the abundance of life, to feel and experience the abundance of joy, to feel and experience the abundance of health and wellness and vitality and prosperity for all, within the all. For God's within it all, as are you. And as I soften within the treasure of all that I am, as I soften within the sacredness of my words, the all is felt. I can see the rainbows of light vibrating in new resonance. The new harmonic of creation has just been changed. And we take pause of great moments when vibrational frequency reminds you of your profundity. When the soft and loving words remind you of the master that you are. For you are so treasured and held within it all. And may we emulate this for our children. May we emulate this so that our systems will inspire anew from the consciousness that we are as a collective. Our systems are our consciousness. We are our systems. So as we ignite the soft and loving hearts from within, so too do we create all that we behave within, new realities. And why when we gather and meet in this way is so very key, so very important to the all that we experience. and these beautiful pictures of Gaia, allowing us to remember and take heart and take notice of the everyday sacred moments, the everyday moments that we can treasure if we so desire. It's always free will. And what most are experiencing right now in reality is there's that polarity that we're all harmonizing, that there's moments through which those vast experiences of polarity, of density, are still being experienced by so many through this awakening. But the mastery is to hold the space and to hold the softness in that inner knowing without judgment of anyone else's path or how they move about their path. But to hold that softness and to hold that space that all is well. They're awakening in divine perfection of their path with God. And why, when we said earlier, and will create shifts in your home quite quickly. When you resonate the soft and loving intentions of, I honor you. I respect your path with God. I love you unconditionally. Those 3 vibrational affirmations, and you hold that intentional state of heart, that soft and supple heart, as you commune with people, as you communicate with people, will shift and change the words that come out of your mouth, because you'll choose vibrational words that match those intentions. And it will be quite synchronistic. There won't have to be a lot of thought. It will be the natural version of you coming forward, your godliness of you coming forward to play in sacred, intentional ways. And your intentions will begin to have those stories of vibration with it. And people will feel you when you walk in the room without words being spoken. For you radiate, dear ones, you radiate. And how may you soften in this? All of creation is feeling you now, intuiting you now, receiving you now. And know that it will be in response, divine timing and kind. And that's unconditional trust and letting go. The vibrational stories will be returned when most needed, when most required. For that is your destiny with God. God knows. You know. Your higher self knows. Your teams know. Your bodies know. Sit back and have some fun. Resurrect that joy within, dear lighted ones. And it truly will feel as if the shifting of your frequency, the shifting of your reality, is held within your soft and loving intentions for you. I choose to use sacred words because it just feels so good. I can feel the vibrations as it's moving from the center of my being up through my divine sacred throat chakra, out through my sacred lips. And as I use my hands and my body and my soft and loving movement, they're going through creation because I understand there are vibrational fields that I am intending these intentions to dance with. Do you see what we're saying here, dear lighted ones? The potentials are endless, infinite, eternal, as are you. And we thank you for our precious time together. Thank you. And in these last few moments, dear lighted ones, I wanted to read some of the etheric chamber messages, and one that was so very heartfelt as I was preparing the sacred ground and the sacred vibrations of our etheric chamber. For remember that every week that we gather, as most of you know, all of you, all of your hearts, all of your higher selves and your healing teams gather in what we call an etheric chamber. And it's a beautiful, multidimensional space, if you will, of a circular podium type of space where beings gather from all over the universe. Your celestial teams, the omni-present councils, heavenly councils, the Galactic Federation, the Star Council, the Councils of Light. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And we don't, their concern is never how we name or what we name or even bringing names forward, because they all understand we're one. But just to let you know that this is how I see the etheric chamber and how I prepare the space and I prepare the vibrational energy and how I prepare the intentions, the soft and sacred intentions for our human rainbow light tribe. For we truly are creating new resonance. We're creating new vibrations. We're creating new color, new sound, new potentials, new light programs. All of these things are quantumly in the soup. Just opening with a divine sacred heart to come and feel some love, that offers in these beautiful omnipresent frequencies. Because your higher self knows that you're Christed. Your higher self knows of your multidimensional bodies. Your higher self knows of the activations that will take place when, exactly, how, and with whom, and perhaps in whatever way it may. Divine timing, divine orchestration. But the etheric chambers is what we see, and the presence and the energy, it's the portal through which the information flows through me, so that I'm able to gift the pictures, to gift the vibrational intentions, to gift the words, to gift the sounds, to gift the enunciations in the way that they will serve those multidimensional bodies and moments in the timings that will be required for them, for you, for the all. So again, there is far much more going on than we can put into words, but we explain it as an etheric chamber. It's a portal. It's a portal of all consciousness of the highest benevolence, the portal of highest consciousness of all light and light programs and the divine benevolence to serve creation through love, through light, through respectful evolution of God, of all things. And so you can, and anyone can, connect with these beautiful etheric energies for healing, for communication, for musing, remotely in whatever way that you so desire, because it's our human collective space for gathering, for entanglement, for communion, for expansiveness. And many, many beings from across our multiverse listen in. And they're showing me right now, we're listening in. And there's much going on vibrationally, because that's how far we're reaching out. Our consciousness, our collective consciousness, reaching out when we gather in light, in love, in harmony, in peace, in song, in joy, and all of those Christed vibrations, those godly vibrations. They can see our light, as we talked about many, many shows for many years. Your awakening allows you to create a vibrational resonance that can't be seen from our perspective, but from the universal perspective, it's like turning your light on. You can now be seen. That clarion call that you're sending out for more information on how to balance the harmony within your home, the information on how to balance the harmony within your body, your temple, whatever it might be, you're turning that light on, the God within you on. And those beings will come forward that are meant to come forward, that you've contracted and soul agreed with, to assist you in your awakening, to assist you in the vibrational quantum downloads that sit within your field, ready for you to tap into through your meditation, through your soft and gentle musing with nature, through your gentle loving of self, through the softening of the heart, and all of those, or the processes, if you will, and how ascension really occurs. But you're all quite doing it quite naturally. Just love yourself. Open up. Trust. But these etheric chambers is what we've introduced for you, for those that are new listening, for those that are quantumly tuning in other etheric ways through meditation or future now moments. So these etheric chamber notes came through, and as I was preparing the space today in the energetic intentions and the energetic human collective communion, the divine source creator and the frequencies that I've been entangling with came through, because how I choose to express God and the Divine Mother Father within, it's very blissful and joyful beyond words, and it's always soft. And why we've changed the dynamic of our words and the vibrations of our words. The message for today in this beautiful musing was treasures of the heart, and the vibrational offering is this. Dear children, how may we dance? All moments held are you, a treasure, so unique within my heart. You are the pulsation of creation, treasured and true. I am held softly within. So dearly loved are you, my children of light and song. And that's from the heavenly, divine, omnipresent source creator living through me as the divine harmonized Mother, Father, God, and the words and the vibrations that we have, to create a soft and gentle, loving story about source creator and why it is so simple and elegant, because it's based on the simplicity of love and softness and excitement to dance. So know that in all moments you're held as a treasure within God. You're so unique within God's heart. You are the pulsation of creation. You are treasured and you are true. I am held softly within. So in the communications that you so desire with God, in those moments that you feel those bringing to your knee moments in just profound and utter self-love and opening and softening, the quantum vibrational word is softening. The quantum vibrational word of holding yourself as sacred. These are vibrations that will allow you that experiential potential, because they're Christ's vibrations. They're vibrations that you hold within in quantum memory. Your cells will remember. Your DNA will remember. All that you are as a multidimensional being will remember the feeling of sacredness. Great reverence for who you are. Reverence for creation, for all life. And why your perspectives will change. Your views of others will change. The views of yourself will change. And why all things will change in kind. The vibrations of your words, how you say words, the intentions of the stories within your words. For the children, creation, the webbing, feels it. So how may we be consciously aware of the treasures that we are? How may we consciously ignite the resurrection of joy of all that we are, dear lighted ones, and why we gather and why we muse? We hope that these beautiful multidimensional musings have held you in sacredness and in joy over the last few hours, and we honor you greatly. For those that so desire, Tina has our link up, Universal Love and Light Wisdom Offerings, and feel free to browse our website. We're putting things constantly on weekly from the resources that I'm having created. For those that so desire to offer donations forward, they go forward into assisting me pay for the illustrations that I have my beautiful genius illustrator create for us, so that I can put what I see into a color vibrational image. The stories that I am being gifted and honored from my higher self in the many groups and councils and the heavens that I'm entangled with, putting them into the website blogs and helping pay for and fund the videos and the audios and all that we create, so that it can be shared in a myriad of different formats and platforms for those that so desire to tap into the Christ consciousness, the Christ vibration of all that is within. So we thank you so much, each and every one of you, week after week. Stay tuned for, I'm going to create a blog on the Crystalline Children's Blogspot of the many offerings that I had this week in writing, because they were very, very profound. And there's many stories of wisdom and light and sacredness held within the offerings this week. So there will be a few posts, so those who so desire can log on to and follow the Crystalline Children's Blogspot, and they are also shared within our website as well. So we thank you, dear lighted ones, for coming forward once again. And as you go forward in your life, be joyful, be soft and loving to yourself, and know that all that you are as a divine radiant being changes and affects the all. So be soft and loving. Namaste, dear lighted ones. Namaste. Thank you for joining us for this beautiful co-creation of love and light wisdom. May you go forward in a beautiful way as you enjoy these offerings, as you explore the God within, as you experience and express the God within. Open your hearts, dear lighted ones, and may we always co-create in love, divine harmony and balance and bliss with one another and all that is. Thank you for joining us.